Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Welcome to Spokane Talks Live. I'm Kent Adams. It's the day after, and we're going to talk about the local races with Pia Hallenberg when she comes in. And we're going to talk about an issue that I've had over the years. And I have somebody here, our first guest, who helped solve some of the problems. And that's called sleep apnea. And there are a lot of folks out there I've discovered that have that issue. We're also going to talk about the YMCA and all that's going on there. This is Military Month, and we have a special treat today. Nothing to do with the title because of the election, but Little Shop of Horrors is going to be here from U-High, and they're going to perform for us. We'll be back right after this.
For the Inland Northwest most comprehensive sports report, think up on something.
Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Back to Spokane Talks Live, and this is Kent Adams, and welcome to our program. Erin Elliott. Now, I've known you for a couple of years, haven't I?
It's been quite a while now.
And you keep coming back. Yeah.
I know.
Okay, so who's the crazy one, right? You know, I mentioned in our tease at the beginning of the program that I remember going to my internist, oh gosh, it's been 8 or 10 years ago, and was complaining about not being able to go to sleep and a number of other things. And he said, maybe it's time for that sleep test that we've talked about and you keep putting off for a couple of years, right?
Easy to do.
This is a familiar story,
Yes.
isn't it? Anyway, I did that, and found out, I think it was something like 28 times an hour I was not breathing, which is really not a good thing.
Right.
Yep. And so I got the CPAP, which is it's like a thing of oxygen, if you will, and if it doesn't fit on your face just right, it makes all kinds of noise. Your spouse really loves the noise, and you know all about it.
It's probably better than the snoring you had.
Well, probably. However, about 4 years ago, I met you. You were on our TV program at the time, and I learned sitting there asking you questions about a new approach to solving this issue, which you put me on. And life has been much better. Let's talk about what is it that you help people do?
Well, I'm actually a dentist.
Right.
So whenever I approach...
So you're used to putting people asleep, right?
Oh, come
okay.
on. No, we're really on the front lines because we
Yeah.
stare at airways all day long.
Yes.
We talk to our patients and know the spouses.
Yes.
And so we know if they snore.
Yeah.
And if a patient falls asleep while I'm doing dental work, it's probably a sign. I know I'm pretty gentle. However, there might be something more going on. But what the way that a dentist can get involved in sleep apnea besides the screening is actually the treatment.
Okay.
And it has been around for for a while now. However, it's just now kind of catching on because medical insurance covers it and
Right.
Medicare covers it.
Yeah, and it's not dental insurance that covers
Right,
it. It's
medical.
a medical condition, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what we provide for patients is an oral appliance.
Right.
Essentially, it's kind of like a mouth guard that postures the jaw forward
Okay.
so that the airway stays open. So not only are you quiet, but you're getting oxygen to your body.
Yeah, yeah. And we don't know what we're missing when we're trying to sleep and not breathing, do we?
Well, first of all, we're asleep. So most people don't even realize. If you ask them when they snore, they say no.
No, right.
But my wife tells me I do.
Yes.
It's very easy to deny. I even deny it that I snore. However, a video on social media would tell you otherwise that my husband posted. And, there's just a lot of need for it, but people don't know how tired they are because it's a slow progression.
Right. And part of it is that we live through life thinking there isn't a solution to it. And that this not breathing and this snoring and all these other things that we go through, even kids are snoring at night, right?
Yeah, which they should not be.
Really?
That is,
Okay.
Their children should
They
not
should be
snore.
crying, right? Or feed me.
They should be sleeping. So any kid that snores, we certainly screen them as well.
Okay.
But the treatment for that's a little different.
Okay. Well, what do you do?
Oh,
there?
in children, it's usually tonsils and adenoids are causing
okay.
the blockage, and plus orthodontic.
Okay.
help.
Okay. So there are solutions,
Mm-hmm.
but and what does this not getting all the oxygen? I mean, I kind of instinctively know, but
Mm-hmm.
what does it mean to us? What is it doing to us? Is it affecting our length of our life? Is
sure
it the
is.
quality of life? What are some of those things? Because we kind of, I think, tend, like I did, to
Uh-huh.
put up with it for a while.
Right, and it's easy to go to the doctor and get a blood pressure pill. It's
Yes.
easy to go to the doctor and get pre-diabetes, acid reflux medication, all those things.
Right.
But not only is it the lack of oxygen that's affecting our body, which could lead to heart disease, strokes, congestive heart failure.
Oh, just a few things.
Nocturia, which is a fancy word for getting up several times in the middle of the night to use the restroom.
Yes.
Diabetes, like I said, there's
Well,
a
you're
lot.
just full of good
I
news.
know. Depression,
Yeah.
fatigue, and mostly it's just not feeling good. After you sleep all night, you should feel good when you wake up in the
Well,
morning.
and that was the point. I was looking at some of my notes here, and one of the things that when we talked back and forth was that is, the chronic snoring and insomnia is not the norm.
No, and
It doesn't need to be the norm.
well, most people misidentify what insomnia is, that they're
Okay.
too stressed out,
Right.
Or they're a light sleeper. Well, they're probably a light sleeper because they're not getting into their deep, restful sleep.
Right.
And that's where the good hormones are released and the bad hormones are not.
Yeah.
But if you're not getting into that deep sleep or REM sleep, that's going to affect memory and fatigue and healing. I mean, it's all interconnected.
It is. I got to ask you, okay, you're a dentist, and you've been a dentist for some time. What made you
Watch
move?
it there.
Yeah, I know. I was
Just
expecting.
kidding.
I paused, waiting for you to get back at me for at least a couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay. What made you move this direction, though?
Honestly, it's because I love sleep so much.
Oh, okay.
I was born an old lady. I just love to take naps and go to sleep. But it really was as soon as I saw that I can change smiles,
Okay.
and it's gratifying.
Right.
But when I can change someone's life and help their marriage and give them their life back, it's
Right.
so gratifying. Plus, a lot of dentists don't do it because medical insurance is involved.
Okay.
And so
that's
I am
another
one of the
step of
few that are doing
bureaucracy.
it. Yeah.
Right.
So I partnered up with a guy in North Spokane
Right.
to provide this service to our patients.
And your organization or your company is?
Sleep Better Northwest.
Oh, right. What a catchy.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to figure that one out?
Actually, my dad helped me with that
Oh,
one.
okay. Dads are great.
Yeah.
And your dad had a sleep apnea problem,
Well,
didn't he?
unknown. We got him a sleep study at home. He didn't
Okay.
have to go spend the night at the lab, and it was discovered that he had moderate to severe sleep apnea. We just always thought he snored, but he said he wouldn't have gotten help because he knew he wouldn't go spend the night somewhere.
Right.
And he knew that he wouldn't wear the mask. So to him, ignorance was bliss. He'd
Yeah.
rather just not know he had a problem.
About those tests, though.
Yeah.
I remember you're in one room of 5 or 6 or 7 that they have there at the sleep study, and the challenge is going to sleep, of course, and I'm guessing it wasn't any different for most other people, and I looked at this young lady who's interning and everything else, and she said, you'll be fine, don't worry, you'll fall asleep, and finally the next morning she said, yeah, you got a couple hours of sleep, and that was enough for our study, and I said, for your study, how about for me? I need more than 2 hours of sleep, So I went home and slept that day.
Those people, those labs are really excellent. They give us a lot of information, and sometimes it is necessary to go spend the night at the lab.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can do it at home too.
I don't know that they were doing a lot of home things 6-7 years ago, though.
Probably, maybe not.
I think the lab thing was really kind of genning up here in Spokane and so forth. So what should people do? The wife that's watching right now, or the husband, and what steps should they take to find out if they have this problem?
Well, certainly talk to your physician, but what's interesting to me is how many skinny, athletic, young people I treat. It's not,
obviously you're looking at somebody else, not me.
It's not an older gentleman's disease.
Older gentleman. Now I'm older gentleman.
I treat a lot of perimenopausal women that are petite. If you have sleep problems, if you're not getting restful sleep, if you're snoring, it's not just snoring, it's insomnia too.
Right.
Then talk to your physician about getting a sleep study. And they may say, oh, there's no way you have that. You don't know by looking at someone until you get a sleep study.
I know when they did my study, they said the first hour or so, nothing, and then all of a sudden it showed up. And I don't know, is 28
it's moderate to
moderate?
severe.
Okay. I don't know. You're allowed to say that with all the laws today?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. This is important, and we were just talking about somebody I'm going to recommend to you that needs to move from the CPAP, which I see as old generation, dealing with it.
Well, some people do need their CPAP.
Okay.
And so I won't, if they're not a candidate.
And you can tell when they come in?
From the sleep study, there's a lot of things we can tell to know if they'd be a candidate for the appliance.
Ah, okay.
And
so not everybody is a candidate.
And if you're not doing anything, then you're a candidate.
Well, you're just ignoring an issue that really will affect your lifestyle and maybe your life.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
To me, that's important. How can people get in touch with you and Rob?
The best is probably the website. We have both of our phone numbers and locations on there. Obviously, the people watching know how to get on the internet. So we are sleepbetterinw.com, which is Sleep Better Northwest. We also have locations in Tri-Cities and Everett.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You've expanded.
We've expanded.
And one of the things that impresses me is that you go all over the country several times, a lot of times a year, but a couple times a month even at certain times of the year. And you're teaching other dentists and professionals how to deal with this,
You know
aren't
why? It's because I'm so passionate about it.
I can't tell.
I know. I just want the word to get out there, and I want these people to get help that never knew what their help could be or what their problem was.
That is so true. Thank you, Erin. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
And again, if people want to find out, what's the web address?
Sleepbetterinw.com.
All right. Thank you. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with folks from the YMCA right after this.
Stage of our night. Thanks again for taking care.
Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Welcome back. Kent Adams, Spokane Talks Live. Welcome to the day after. And it's we were going to do a little comedy sketch here today and have a reporter call in from the Monroe Street Bridge to report on all the liberals jumping off. But we decided not to do that. That would be insensitive. Oh, that's right. I'm an insensitive person. Anyway, you can see how formal we are and that we like to have a little bit of fun. Now, Carrie Clanton, is
Yes,
that right?
yes.
You're with the YMCA, and I don't know if I told you, but way back 40 years ago, I was in the YMCA in Los Angeles, one of the younger executive directors, and then got roped into when I came to Spokane. All you have to do is tell a volunteer on the board that you've been a Y director, and all of a sudden you're running the next campaign.
Well,
and,
you know what? I can concur. I
Yeah,
concur
yeah.
with that. Yeah. Well, you better look out, because now that I know you have a little history.
I know. Well, I'm old and retired. So one of the things that I got when you guys sent over the news release really touched me, because we are a military community here in Spokane. Most obvious is Fairchild Air Force Base, but we're much beyond that.
Yes.
And so here we are, and the YMCA is recognizing our heroes. Talk about that,
Okay.
because that's really exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's actually feverish. And I just have to put in my own little plug here of back in 2008 was our when the Military Outreach Initiative actually unfolded across the nation.
Okay.
And so the release spoke to, in 2009, the President Barack Obama then established November as the military month and has asked us as a nation to embrace military for their service and certainly for their families.
Right.
So with that being said.
And the families have it the roughest,
Yeah,
I think,
I
at times,
so.
don't they?
Absolutely. You know, the YMCA is an excellent place for them to come, feel welcome, and then.
In fact, we're showing a family that
Okay.
you've been highlighting.
Yes.
What is that family?
So this is Staff Sergeant First Class James Coy and his family. They're active members with us. And we did a little feature, a little spotlight on them, because they have had the opportunity to experience the YMCA in so many different facets.
Great.
It has been a great discipline, not only for the husband and wife to connect,
Right.
for her to meet some of her own wellness goals, but the little ones then are learning to swim. And
Yes,
so
yes.
now we've got a great swimmer on our hands.
Right.
And the tiniest one loves our child watch, and actually the staff, they've really embraced the staff. And then we can't miss the older one in our teen center.
Nice,
Our teen center
nice.
is a really phenomenal place for them to come express themselves outside of the parental view.
Yeah,
So
school
there's
and
that-
family and
yeah.
the traditional, yeah.
But this is all the non-traditional things.
Right,
So
right.
if you're musically inclined,
Good.
if you have drama interests,
Right.
First Night is one of the things that they'll do drama competition
Oh,
with.
fun.
Yeah, it's just marvelous. But it's also special speakers that will come in and just engage those youth, because there's a lot of disconnect
Yes.
with youth and teens. And sometimes if you're not doing a traditional sport, then where do I fit in?
Right.
You fit into the YMCA.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I've always loved the YMCA. In fact, one of the things, we need to have you back and talk about your new mentoring program.
Oh, yes.
Because that's
The Reach and
fantastic.
Rise,
And
yes.
and I really want to focus on that, because that was one of the things way back 45 years ago or so. If you can, you aren't even that old, okay? But
Thank you. I'll
45
take that.
years ago, I started a program called Y Pals in Los Angeles,
Mm-hmm.
which was in talking with single moms and so forth. They wanted their 8, 9, 10-year-olds to have a chance to be with an older male
Mm-hmm.
influence. And then we had the focus group kind of come back together with the moms. And I said, well, sometimes they're just wrestling on the mats and everything else. And they stopped me and said, Kent, they don't get to do that anywhere else. They don't have that.
Yeah.
They can just have fun with somebody,
yeah.
because there's no dad at home. Maybe there's an older brother, maybe
Yes.
not,
Yes.
those kinds of things. And so with the working families with with all of the split ups and so forth, I think that's important. We need to have more influence with some of these
certainly do.
kids.
And
the Y is a perfect place.
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, as you mentioned that Reach and Rise program, and we're talking about the November Military Month.
Right.
What is so ideal about this, and why the YMCA is so much more than a gym, is because it gives us the opportunity to reach into their lives and show that we care. We certainly have beautiful wellness centers. I'm grateful for those. But
it's not about a building.
It's not the structure, but it doesn't sustain itself until we have something that is a community outreach. That annual campaign we have every year shores up the community in such a way to allow us to fulfill that social responsibility.
Yes. Let's get back in the last couple minutes that we have, because I kind of got us off the subject.
Sure.
But let's talk about what's going on with representing or recognizing our military. What's happening this month?
So this month, we provide a 2-week guest pass between November 6th and November 20th.
Okay.
That is designed for all military, their families, and veterans and their families.
Okay, great.
So the purpose of that is for them to know that we just appreciate their dedication and service. How is it that we can allow you to wake up and recognize the importance of what you have done?
Right.
Come to the Y.
Right.
Take on the areas of the YMCA that you're interested in.
Explore a little bit.
Swim, climbing walls, skate park, wellness center, do whatever it is that you would like to do. And then with that being said, the full month of November, if you choose to join, then you don't pay a joiner fee.
Oh, nice.
And the membership is just month to month, but we want you to engage. We want to connect with you. And so this is, there's also another little avenue that is a fun activity when you come into any of the facilities. We have a table that's decorated with James Coy in his full stature there.
Oh, nice.
He is there. And
to greet everybody.
It's actually a place for them to write out their notes, their honorable, their memorable expressions to all of our servicemen and women and veterans. And those then are posted on the walls. So when they come in, they can look up and they can see all of the messages that are for you personally for your service.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah,
that is
wonderful.
great. Now, is this the first year, second year? Have you done this for a little bit?
We have done this for 4 years, but we've actually been in the movement of the Military Outreach Initiative since 2008.
Yeah.
So,
and it goes back to the USO and a few other things,
it
if you
certainly
way
does.
before your time and mine even.
But I
But I
sure
mean, there's been
understand it,
an alignment with the YMCA and the armed
military,
forces over the years. Right,
yes.
right. Well, great. This is exciting. We do want you to come back and let's talk
Thank
about
you.
the mentoring program, because I think that's important, and maybe you can bring somebody in.
That would be wonderful.
And do that, because we all need to step up and volunteer and be part of the solution.
Yes.
And I think that's important. Well, nice to meet you.
Very nice to
to
meet you,
have you
Kent.
here.
Yes.
And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Little Shop of Horrors.
Ooh.
Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with
Last year
Spokane's
alone, it was the customer
newsmakers,
saved
thought leaders, and
53
popular
million
entertainers.
kilowatt-hours of energy.
Welcome to Spokane
Enough
Talks
to power
Live.
more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at bristoutilities.com.
If you need a sign, banner, or business cards for your business, who do you call? Hi, this is Kent Adams.
And Tom MacArthur from Business Talks. Kent and I call Instant Sign Factory for our signs, banners, business cards, and more.
Dave at Instant Sign Factory is our go-to guy for printing, and he always does excellent work for us.
Check them out online. They've got an all-new website, InstantSignFactory.com.
Tell them Kent and Tom from Business Talk sent you. Instant Sign Factory.
You hear us say it.
We are tracking breaking news in Spokane County where firefighters...
We're talking exclusive.
I want to be the survivor and someone that reaches out and helps other people.
These stories you'll only see here.
My family's safe because he is off the streets.
This interview.
What is it like being a teenager nowadays?
This investigation. This moment for the first time.
I hope our apartment doesn't burn down.
We don't just cover breaking news, we own it.
Pretty scared, thought we weren't going to make it through.
KH2 Local News, right now.
Welcome back. Kent Adams with Spokane Talks Live, and we are as live as you can be. And which reminds me, I've got a job for one of you. before you leave today. I always need somebody under 30 to fix electronic stuff. And you're laughing.
I'm out both ways.
Yeah. I've got the clock that goes on the wall, and you probably know the time changed. I don't know how to change it back an hour.
These guys can
so
probably get the job
one of
done.
you can figure it out. And so what we have here is U-High Drama Department.
That's right.
So the drama continues. And
well, we usually do our
Yes.
legal show for about 10 minutes, and we
Yeah.
certainly thought having Bree.
This is a lot more
This
fun.
is a lot more fun, a
Yeah.
lot more exciting to have these guys.
Yeah,
in here
introduce
singing.
some of your friends here.
Yeah, well, we have Brienne Green from University High School Drama.
Right?
Good morning.
Good morning.
And then
Yeah.
with me is
Mike?
we also have Nick Greep. He is a sophomore at the school, and Brady Magruder, another sophomore. The principals in our production of Little Shop of Horrors at University High School.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you've already had.
We've had three shows.
shows.
And then we close this weekend. High school, we open and close so quickly.
Yeah.
And our shows are Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday because
Okay.
we're observing Veterans Day. on
Excellent,
Friday.
excellent.
And the shows are 7 o'clock?
Shows at 7 o'clock on Thursday and Saturday, and then at 2 o'clock.
They can stay up
matinee.
that late?
That's right. It's a new world.
They
Ken.
have AP homework to do
Yeah.
when they get home at night.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to have them sing a
They would love
song
to
or
sing
two
for
for
you.
us?
Our first song that we're going to sing is Get It. This is The Plant, Audrey 2, if you will, and Seymour, famous by Rick Moranis in 1986, the classic movie, and they're going to sing Get It, talking about getting some body.
That's great.
All right. Now, do you want microphones, or are you just going to sing? Just going to do it. Oh.
Yeah, we're very loud.
Smart aleck kids. Gee.
It's called Projection.
Yes.
Projection. Yeah. Yeah. Drama one. Okay. All right. Anytime you're ready.
You didn't have nothing till you met me. Come on, kid, what'll it be? Money? Girls? One particular girl. How about that Audrey? Think it over. There must be someone you can 86 real quiet like and get me some lunch. How's about a room at the Ritz, wrapped in velvet, covered in glitz? A little nook, you gotta clean up your seats and you'll get it.
Gee, I'd like a Harley machine, tooling around like I was James Dean, making all the guys on the corner turn green.
So go get it, oh. If you want to be profound, then you really gotta justify. Take a breath and look around. A lot of folks deserve to die.
Wait a minute! That's not a very nice thing to say.
But it's true, isn't it?
No. I don't know anyone who deserves to get chopped up and fed to a hungry plant.
Sure you do.
If you want a rationale, it isn't very hard to see. Stop and think it over, pal. The guy sure looks like plant food to me. The guy sure looks like plant food to me. The guy sure looks like plant food to me. He's so nasty, treating her rough,
smacking her around and always talking so tough.
You need blood, he's got more than enough.
I need blood and he's got more than enough.
You need blood, he's got more than enough.
So go get it.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
Nice job, gentlemen.
Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
And this is why we like to do live. This is fun.
This
when
is a
we
lot of
have young people in here, and it's okay to call you young people?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay.
This is the right energy level. This is
Absolutely.
great. This is
Absolutely. And I
great.
was disappointed because our intern wasn't going to come today. He's Will Parker in what is it, Oklahoma,
Right.
and they called another dress rehearsal for today. And
He would have enjoyed this.
And Ryan knows him because you guys have lake cabins
Yeah.
together,
No, I know his
next to
family.
each other. And I was telling Ryan, I said, the problem is I'm disappointed because I was waiting for that energy today
Right.
that Colin always brings.
And now you got it.
And now we've got
you
it.
got it.
So if he can't come next week, you guys come back?
They
Yeah.
got more to do.
out of school. That was a silly question.
Yeah.
But Brianne,
Yeah.
tell me about this. What got you into teaching drama?
Oh, well, I've been in drama since I was about 4 years old. Grew up in Spokane doing it.
So only 20 years.
Just only 20, yeah.
Okay.
And I went to go to school to be a professional,
Okay.
like these young ones want to.
Yeah.
And I just decided I wanted children instead and wanted to do this. And so I have students.
Life does throw things at you, doesn't
Well,
it?
I was living in Seattle, going to the University of Washington. And
You're not allowed to say that here. I'm kidding.
They have a
Cougar
very good
country.
musical program now.
Yeah.
And so it's a dream job. I love it so much. My husband moved to Texas to run a professional theater down there, and I decided to stay here and do my
But
job so far. So.
Although you are raising a family, though, and obviously directing these shows, you also were in Les Mis just what
and
is that, a
Guys
year
and
and a
Dolls,
half
and
ago?
I was in Chicago, and then when
Yep.
Mr. Green moved, I decided to not be in Chicago so I could focus on directing
Right.
the program
So
and
you-
also
yeah.
my children. So.
Yeah.
So you really have combined all the pieces. Parenting.
Or you're
teaching,
trying at
on
least,
stage.
right? Welcome to the
we're-
world
yeah,
today.
Yeah, and I think all parents have that whole sort of
Yeah.
juggling, and we live in the most amazing community that's very helpful and helping give rides and
Yeah.
stuff. And my kids are just used to it; it's what they know. So.
You know, one of the things that absolutely fascinates me about Spokane is we've really grown up pretty much during your lives here in Spokane, that we have now restaurants and places to go, but we also have the entertainment that we didn't have 20 years ago or 30 years ago. I came to Spokane 40 years ago. It tells you how old I am,
Yeah.
okay? But the fact is, you know, it was the symphony and the civic theater. And I'm not saying anything negative about them, but beyond that, you
Absolutely,
started
yeah.
to what else is
It was just a
is
little more
around?
And that's
limited.
where I grew
Yeah.
up in the Spokane Civic
Yeah.
Theater, and that's sort
Yeah.
of, my sister works there now, and that was
Right,
like our
right.
other home
Right.
growing up. And so we started, a small community theater, but we just have so many opportunities for art and people, there's always something going on, and it's not don't go see this theater, it's go see all of it if
Right.
you can. And,
Yeah.
and we all support each other, like we borrow props and sets and
Right.
Very
CYT.
collaborative.
It's a family, isn't it?
It has to be, or that's how we won't
Now, they
survive.
may not know who he is, but Sammy Eubanks is one of our hosts. He does 2 of our programs.
Right.
And he does, well, they may not, though.
Celebrity in Spokane.
Yeah, celebrity.
That's
No, see? Yeah. Okay, they're
But
going to,
not only
but
the-
they'll Google it right after this, right? He sings and performs and all of that. And he was sitting in here one time talking about, well, there's something else I'd like to talk to you about, Kent. And I'm going, oh, Lord, what is that? And it's, I'm into motorsports. So he does a motorsports hour that's actually a half hour, but no one has figured that one out
but
yet.
but a passion.
But it's a passion, and he's brought people on through the phone and so forth around the country because when he travels, he meets
Right.
these people and so forth. But he hasn't been in here for about 4 months because he is so successful right now. He is so booked. And so what I'm really saying is there is opportunity now,
Right.
I think, in Spokane that we didn't have 10 or 15 years
Well,
ago.
and what's interesting, Ken, is you have the community theater, you have the professional
Yes.
theater, and obviously the high school level,
Right.
which is professional in my opinion. These guys are amazing.
Yeah.
But many of the high schools with the Fifth Avenue Awards last year, you guys tell us a little bit about that.
We were up for Best Show for Evita, Most Outstanding Show
wow.
in the state of Washington, and we got to sing in front of thousands of people. And
And that was in Seattle,
That was,
right?
yeah, we get to travel to Seattle. We've gone consistently for the last 7 years.
Oh,
and we've been up
wonderful.
for the Best
You've got
Show
a
in the
winner here
state.
then,
That's
don't
right.
you? Yeah.
For 4 or 5 times. We've been pretty lucky, and our actor was up for Best Actor in the
Right.
state last year, and we won. Something that we take a lot of pride in is getting recognized for our stage crew. We won that
Yeah.
3 years in a row because The show
Oh.
behind the show is a whole nother world.
Oh, gosh, yes.
And so we also compete in IE Festival. It's recognized by Washington WIAA. Mallory went to nationals last year. She placed
fantastic.
twice in nationals her freshman and sophomore year
Oh,
for solo
nice.
and monologue.
Are you just happy or what? Yeah, yeah.
She's also a varsity cheerleader, so she's a busy gal. And
Well, speaking of Mallory, are you going to sing a song for us as well? Should we sing another song?
Yeah,
this is Audrey and Seymour.
One more time.
Chit-chat.
Let's talk about how people can get to your performance, because we're going to take when we finish this, we'll just take a break and that'll be it. So you're going to sing us out to break, okay?
That'll be
All right?
perfect.
You know,
Perfect.
so watch them; they're going to stall for 20 minutes.
So how can people get?
Well,
how
it's
can
so
people
great.
get tickets?
CVSD has allowed us to have online sales, which is super convenient for our patrons, and they are reserved seating, so you can pick your seats for your family.
Okay.
The best way to find them is University High School's website.
Okay.
It flashes up there, or also our U Drama Facebook page.
Okay.
That's capital U dash capital Drama, our U
Right.
Drama, and that has all the information you could ever imagine about our program, from our season to what we're doing. We're sponsoring a middle school show coming up like next week.
Okay.
That's great.
So we just keep going.
That's great. Well, I want to congratulate you and thank all three of you for coming in and doing this today. And I expect to see you on Broadway or somewhere.
That's right.
At some point.
Next stop, Broadway.
You know.
Yeah.
And
That's usually how it works. Broadway.
I've got to ask this question: how many of you have seen The Phantom of the Opera?
Favorite show.
Yeah, mine too. I've seen it like 12 times. I even flew to Vancouver, BC to see it, and I love it. And it's coming again in June, July. Okay, all right. I know.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm gonna see it
The last time I went, I was telling the gal at the ticket place, and I said, "Well, I'm all by myself today, but I'm going to." It was a 2:00 matinee. And I said, "This is probably only my 12th time." She said, "Oh, 12 times." She puts the ticket back. That you want this one, third row, middle.
Hey, that's great.
And I have been lucky to sit in the first 5 rows in the middle probably about 4 or 5 times. And I always ask the person next to me, have you seen this before? And they would say, no. And you know what I watch? I watch the person, because if they don't know about the chandelier,
right,
the expression on their face
priceless.
Is, it's like they're going their pants right then and there,
Well, my little kids, they don't watch the show; they watch the technical work,
Yes,
because that's what they're used to, because that's
Right.
how we do it. And when we saw Wicked, they're like, "How come the lights are purple? Where is
Yeah,
that fog
yeah,
coming
yeah.
from? How is that green?" And like, watch the.
It's almost like
why she was flying up, and they're like, "Oh,
it's almost like you know too much."
That's right.
It is. They are kind of ruined by that, but it's also a gift.
Yeah, somebody
so.
years ago who worked for Disney showed me we were showing some films back in film. Remember that? And he taught me the little thing that when they change reels, the little round circle up in the corner. From then on, I always saw that, and it ruined every movie I would watch, because you could know, and I could turn around and see them switch the reels.
You could see
that
what
was
happened.
a long time
Well,
ago.
usually
okay.
after drama 2, kids come back and they're like,
Yeah.
"You ruined theater for me. Now I recognize that. That mic went out, and then that happened, and there was feedback, and then they missed a costume change. I know." And it's just, oh, man.
Well, guys and gal, I have the best performance this week, okay?
That's great.
And we will probably see you in more things, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
they're also active in the
Okay.
community as well, in all the theater. They do
good.
a lot of.
That's great.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing
Thank
you
you
sing
for
another
having us. We
song.
really
Great to have you
appreciate
here.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No. Our pleasure. Absolutely. Anytime. All you have to do is call.
Awesome. Thank you.
Call me instead of him.
Yeah,
Okay,
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Are you
right.
calling an attorney?
That's right.
You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's a good one.
Yeah, he is.
Well, let's hear one more of these.
All right.
And thank you, Heather Brown, on the piano.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me this feeling will last till forever. Tell me the bad times are clean washed away.
Please understand that it's still strange and frightening. For bruises like I've been, it's so hard to stay. Suddenly Seymour. He purified me. Suddenly Seymour. Showed me I can. Yes, you can. Be more the girl that's inside me.
Wish
understanding. With sweet understanding. With sweet understanding. Timor's your
That's the best part.
For the Inland Northwest most comprehensive sports report, think outside the porch with Spokesman.com.
Welcome to a
For
nourishing
just
midweek
99
lunch
cents for
hour
the first month,
conversation
you'll enjoy
with Spokane's
unlimited digital access
newsmakers,
to the
thought
news
leaders,
sports
and
news
popular
that affect Team
entertainers.
Post.
Welcome to
EWU
Spokane
to
Talks
WSU.
Live.
From Northwest Preps all the way to the Seahawks, we're the local authority that makes sports in the Inland Northwest different than the rest. Better than the rest. On your phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. Subscribe to the digital experience with Spokesman.com.
Hi, this is Kent Adams, co-host of Business Talks. I'd like to introduce you to a couple of friends, Lisa and Alan Gwaltney of Window World. I've known Lisa and Alan for a number of years and know them to be honest and caring folks. They take pride in their windows, sliding doors, and blinds. So when it comes to your home, call them direct at 509-456-5880. That's Window World of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And if you tell them Kent sent me, they'll give you 5% off a 5-window installation. Call them today at 456-5880.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy, reducing carbon emissions by more than 18,000 tons. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live, and this is what happens when you bring half of U High drama department to Spokane. Were you out in the hall singing?
No, I was just out there waiting.
Oh, okay.
As I always am.
How are you?
I'm all right.
You've had, and the Spokesman Review newsroom have had kind of a busy day or two.
We've had a busy week, actually.
Yeah.
You know, election coverage is not something that happens overnight.
Oh, it doesn't?
I just want to point that out. So it's always, you know, it's busy, and everybody was there last night. And I would just say that if you've not picked up your Wednesday newspaper, you really should.
Okay.
We do this thing called a wrap. It's a sheet of paper that's around the actual newspaper.
Right.
And in today, it's full of all the election statistics you can imagine. It breaks down how people voted from, you know, county, city, in Idaho and Washington, all the counties in Washington.
That's a lot to keep track of, isn't it?
People really busted their guts last night. It was
yeah, and
really
you have
good.
a deadline. I mean, to print. For the print part.
We pushed it.
Yeah.
We're good. It was closed last night.
Was it really?
Well, I mean, you weren't watching the election?
Well, I went, you know, I'm old. I went to bed like at 10:15, okay?
No, you know, I was at the Spokane Valley had, of course, scheduled a city council meeting last night with a huge agenda. And I'm not trying to be punny or funny or anything. It was an enormous agenda.
Yeah.
And, you know, if that be what it may, I was there until past 9 o'clock last night. And when I left the Valley City Hall, the election hadn't been called yet. And so when we get close to 11, we're close to where we really need to, you know, make a decision.
Right,
So
right.
I left the newsroom at midnight, and at midnight we were, you know, AP had just called it.
Okay.
So,
okay. Yeah. I remember back when Mike Fitzsimmons and I did the election night coverage on a couple different radio stations here in town. And I don't miss it at this point. I'm too old to stay up that late. But in those days, Pia, we often didn't leave until 2 or 3 in the morning.
Oh, people!
And we didn't have a paper to put out.
No, people were there until 1:30.
Yeah, I mean.
And I'm not exactly sure what happened. I think perhaps we had a few delivery issues this morning, but sometimes that happens when we're late.
Yeah,
you know,
no.
They were getting ready to pull out when I left last night, so it's just yeah, but it's interesting.
Now,
so
walk me through as the paper prepares, because you kind of have to prepare for both.
I believe we had 3 covers.
3
ready.
covers.
Yep.
Really? A tie? Was that one of them?
We had
or no, nothing called.
Well, nothing called. We had Clinton, of course, and then we had Trump, and then we had nothing called, or you know, we have to Those of us who've been around remember the hanging Chad in Florida.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it took days before we had a president, and so we have to be prepared for that.
Okay.
And we put stuff in and we get ready, and we just wait and wait and wait until we can call it.
Wow.
So it was interesting. It was very interesting.
Now, did they serve you pizza and some goodies and things like that?
I got nothing. I got a T-shirt.
Oh, what? Nothing?
No, because I was still working. I was out in the valley, so
Well, that's true.
we actually there's a thing called newsroom pizza. You must know that, right?
No.
No. Okay. It's apparently a national.
We drank.
It's like a
on
national.
on radio. We would drink.
we don't.
No, I'm
dry
kidding.
Campus,
of course.
Dry campus. But we have changed to tacos. So there was tacos last
okay.
night. I just came in too late. So.
Okay,
anyway.
that's not because of the changing demographics, is it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
If you're trying to make a racist joke, I'm not going to follow up on it. Okay. I'm not in the mood for that today. Let me tell you.
Okay.
It's. I don't think it's funny. Actually, I think it would be nice to, perhaps make a call for a little grace. Not like in a religious kind of way, because I can't sign on to that. But I do think that a little grace goes a long way today.
Yeah, where do we go from here? What are you hearing on the street?
Where do we go from here? We have a new president. What are you talking about?
But I mean, I haven't had a chance this morning to really follow Facebook much at all. What are you seeing? What are you seeing? What kind of reaction? Is there the volatility out there? Are people having grace?
I've seen. Excuse me, I kind of lost my voice last night. I've seen a few things. I've seen a lot of Facebook friends who are like, "Okay, I'm taking a break. I can't do this right now. I'll be back in a couple of weeks, so maybe I won't be back." So some people are just checking out. I've seen people who feel marginalized. So my gay and lesbian friends, some of my black friends are just terrified. Some of my Muslim friends are terrified because of some of the rhetoric that we've been listening to for, the last couple of months. And they worry that things are going to change a lot. And they were just starting to feel included in the country where they're born and are citizens and have lived all their lives. But they were just starting to feel included. And they are just really scared this morning.
So what things of those that you talked about are going to change?
I don't know. What do you mean? What's going to change?
Well, they're worried about that they'll lose maybe their rights or what?
Well, I mean, if you're a woman, you always have to worry about your reproductive rights. Okay. And that's high on the list every time there's a big shift towards a more conservative presidency. If you are a minority, you always, I'm assuming, worry about programs that, include you into education or other areas that you perhaps don't have access to because of your background. And if you are gay or lesbian, now you can get married. That may go away, okay? And those are some issues that people, of course, those people in those groups are worried about.
Right, but I guess I'm having a hard time understanding why they think some of those things are going to go away. What concrete?
Because it was brought up. It was brought up in Trump's campaign. It was brought up that he's opposed to abortion. Planned Parenthood is just they're just a clan of baby killers or whatever. He's building a wall. All the immigrants need to get out of here and all that. I mean, we heard all that. You must have heard that during the campaign, right?
Yeah, but I guess I'm having.
It doesn't apply to you, so maybe you don't hear
Yeah,
it the same way that the rest of us do.
I'm that.
I mean, I'm an immigrant, okay?
Okay.
So I hear it. I got my citizenship 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I'm going to jump on that because you did the thing on the civics the other day.
I did.
And you know more about our country and our civics than probably a lot of folks born here, don't you?
That's what they say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which is
George Nethercutt, by the way, agrees with me. So
yeah,
that should give me some credibility, right?
Well, he's really been working on the civics thing the last few years.
I think I don't know. Books have been written about why Americans are disengaged, but they are. People feel disenfranchised. They feel like they're not. And again, when I say people, obviously, I don't know who you hang out with, but people feel disenfranchised. They feel like they don't have any part of it. They feel like the country doesn't apply. The country doesn't care about them anymore. And I think one of the interesting things I heard during that civic interviews for that civic story is that the younger generations, and so I'm 50 years old, so people younger than me, they feel patriotic, but not in the way that you do.
Right.
Or
No,
not in the way that people who served in the military do, for instance.
Right.
They want to feel a connection. They want to feel like their country cares about them. And the groups that I just mentioned that feel marginalized are just terrified this morning.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah,
and I don't know what's going to happen.
And
I have
know,
no
and
idea.
I know some of the rhetoric has been mean from both sides.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something I think almost everybody can agree with. I mean, let's face it, when we get down to it on the national level, and I want to talk about locally, but on the national level, it was voting against somebody, not for somebody, for the most part.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elections are often like that.
Yeah. But I think especially this time.
I think it's been like that for
the last few
for
elections.
the last 20 years probably. My friends will say that. They'll say they can't remember the last time they voted for a candidate.
Yeah.
But they can remember many times voting against the other candidate.
Yeah.
So I can't fix that,
No, I know. Well, why did you come here into this country if you aren't going to fix some things, Pia? I know. Yeah. Let's talk about locally some of the things that have happened. County commissioners reelected, or one reelected,
yes, and Josh Kearns won.
Yeah.
So he's a new one.
Was that a surprise a little bit?
Nah.
No,
I don't think so. Was it?
Well, just in that I've heard from so many Republicans who weren't really happy with him.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me. What, is he too conservative?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's a good fit to the current political climate. That's all I'm going to say. No, that didn't really surprise me.
Okay.
That didn't surprise me much. We got to keep our governor.
Okay.
I think that's, I don't know, probably a good thing, right? What am I supposed to say about that?
I know.
I can't really talk about those things,
well,
but we got to keep our governor.
Well, on a statewide issue, we really, unless Seattle really comes more to the middle, it's going to be a Democrat elected governor. Let's face it, for the most part. I mean, so it's. I guess I'm not at all surprised.
No, I'm not either.
No.
But I also think that's. I should not make political commentary. I can't. It's I'm going to get in trouble. But that didn't surprise me much. Let's put it that way. But I also believe we passed the higher minimum wage, right? Yeah. So now everybody's screaming.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You may have to actually pay for your bananas. They can't give them away for like 25 cents a pound or whatever. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
So I happen to believe that it's that people should make a living wage.
Yeah.
So, and if I have to pay more for my strawberries, I will.
But
I'm not going to complain.
But they can do that by getting more education and moving up from what would be.
Oh, that is such a sweet argument. If they can afford to get into school, absolutely they can.
Oh, come on, Pia.
No, I'm not going to give you that one.
No. Honestly, who cannot get a college education or a trade school education today and not get funding if they need it?
Oh, lots of people can't.
Oh, no. No, okay. Next week, bring me a couple cases.
No,
come on.
It's not as easy. It's not as easy.
You can't drop out of high school and then expect that you're going to get $15 or $20 an hour.
Nobody is expecting that.
Yeah.
But it's difficult for a lot of people. It's not. I haven't gotten a raise in 10 years. There's lots of people like me out there. It's difficult to get your kids into school. We have to recognize that. And also, we have to recognize that people go to school for a long time and they don't necessarily make a higher salary than that dropout that you keep talking about.
Right.
We don't.
Right. Well, but there's
the two things are not connected.
There's community college.
Yeah.
Very inexpensive.
Sure.
Excellent at training and retraining.
Absolutely.
And you can get some pretty good jobs from that.
Yep.
$50,000, $60,000 a year.
No.
Yes. Yes.
What, as a mechanic or something?
Yeah.
I'm not going to win this one. You can just have it. I don't care. No, I don't care because I happen to believe that it helps to raise all boats, and I think we should treat people better. And this gets into the whole immigration thing. You don't want to go there because people say, oh, all the illegal immigrants, they need to get out of here. Well, then you're going to have to pay for your strawberries.
Yeah. We might have to.
People won't pay what it costs. It's just the simplest solution to the immigration issue has always been just to stop hiring undocumented immigrants.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it.
Has always been the simplest solution. Last time I wrote that in the paper, they almost ran me out of town because, you're blaming the employers. we'll just have to pay for things.
Yeah. Well,
and
but
know,
we have a lot of.
I know you don't agree. It's okay.
We have a lot of folks who don't want to work doing that either.
I don't know.
It's demeaning work.
I don't know.
You know, it's backbreaking work. It is tough work.
I grew up on a farm. You don't have to tell that to me.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think we can't oversimplify. We just cannot oversimplify some of these issues. And there are people who feel marginalized. Maybe it's just a figment of their imagination. I happen to not think so.
Right.
But there are people who feel marginalized, and we have to make sure that we bring them along.
Well, I think our responsibility as a country and reading the Constitution is to provide the opportunity for everybody to do that.
You think we're doing that today? Like everybody has the opportunity to do exactly what they want and pull yourself up with the bootstraps.
Not today.
And, whoa.
But this hasn't been my administration the last 8 years either.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
Right.
so that's another thing I'm hearing. Well, now you have the presidency and you have the Senate, you have everything. So let's see what you can do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Show me
yeah.
how you can make this world so much better.
Well, and you go back to the first 2 years of President Obama, he had all of that, right? And he got the Obama...
For 2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years.
Yeah.
Got the Obamacare passed.
Yeah, that's going to go away. Don't worry about that.
It's
They'll
been
get rid of that.
It's been a disaster. It's been a disaster. I know.
To some people it has. To my friend who had breast cancer and could suddenly get surgery, it was not a disaster.
Right.
Because she would have died.
Right.
So, I have, 4 examples like that. But those are just 4 people. We can live without them. Let's not worry about that. Somebody wants your attention.
Sometime we need to sit down and have a spirited debate.
No, and actually I can't, something's wrong here.
No.
What's going on?
I'm going to you're getting close to having to wrap up, right?
Yeah.
So I would like to read what I overheard in the very first post-election conversation sitting downtown, just randomly listening to 2 people, 2 ordinary voters. One said, if I survive Bush, I can survive this. The other one said, it is what it is. The other one said, life goes on. Just an election. There you go.
Okay.
How do you bring your spirited debate to
All right. Well, the one thing we can agree on is that we don't always agree. But isn't that wonderful?
Well, I actually came in here hoping that I could ask for a little grace, but the suicide jokes and all that just really got to me this morning. So
I didn't do that with you here.
No, but there was a Facebook post saying you hadn't seen any liberals jump off the Monroe Street Bridge yet.
I didn't mention it while you were here. You just mentioned it. Okay.
I was just
I was good.
No.
I didn't mention it. You told me not to.
I'm a multi-platform person, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I better show up. No, it's just an election. Of course, I believe in the system.
Yeah.
I'm not advocating for anything. I'm just, I hope nobody gets killed. I hope we don't have any uprisings or violence or anything like that. I believe in the system because I have to.
Yeah.
Well,
one of the things I said this morning, and we'll close on this, is that the Bush dynasty is gone. Mm-hmm. The Clinton dynasty is gone. Mm-hmm. The Obama legacy is going to be dismantled.
Uh-huh.
And I don't care what side of the political side you're on. I think that's pretty accurate, don't you?
They're gone.
They're gone.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. What are we going to talk about next week?
Oh, there's probably plenty of stuff.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Pia. Thanks for watching Spokane Talks Live. We'll see you next week.
Spokane Talks Live is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksOnline.com, which is solely responsible for its content. To recommend a guest or topic and to watch or hear this program again, go to SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Join us next Wednesday at noon for an hour of great conversations on Spokane Talks Live.
Hi, this is Kent Adams, co-host of Business Talks. I'd like to introduce you to a couple of friends, Lisa and Alan Gwaltney of Window World. I've known Lisa and Alan for a number of years and know them to be honest and caring folks. They take pride in their windows, sliding doors, and blinds. So when it comes to your home, call them direct at 509-456-5880. That's Window World of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And if you tell them Kent sent me, they'll give you 5% off a 5-window installation. Call them today at 456-5880.